rule, it says, become old, mighty in power. See, become old, which is concerning the duration of the so-called white man and his reign of terror, which this uninterrupted rule seems as if it's been forever, man. All right? It seems as if there's no end in sight. This man is filled with the sins of his youth and have become old in his wickedness. See, again, it says, wherefore doeth the wicked live, become old, mighty in power. So this man has had the longest run, again, concerning the nations, man. And if you're in the right spirit, your approach is how long? When will Yahweh finally overthrow this man? When will it come to an end? Matter of fact, let me grab some real quick. Before we continue, we're going to go back. It's the book of Psalms, the 7th chapter. In the 9th verse, it says, oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. See? Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just. Yeah, and that's concerning the kingdom. The kingdom of heaven will be established. All right? But before the kingdom is established, the wicked of the wickedness have to come to an end. Matter of fact, let me grab something else real quick, come to mind. Right here in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter. In the 28th verse, starting at the 28th verse, it says, but as concerning the things wherefore thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, all right, which is dealing with the so-called white man, and how is his wickedness or his evil deeds are sown? In the form of America. All right, when the Lord planted America, when the Lord established this place, America, Babylon the Great, that's when evil was sown. See, which America has been somewhat of a springboard, if you will, that has propelled wickedness throughout the planet Earth. See, again, but as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction therefore is not yet come. So the very being, the very existence of the so-called white man symbolizes destruction. This place is going to be destroyed. See, the evil is sown, America is here, but the destruction has not yet come. Proving that this is the fate of America. See, again, it says, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. See, verse 29, if therefore that which is sown, which is the evil, be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown passes not away, America, then cannot it come that is sown with good. So America is pretty much a necessary evil. It had to be set up, and taken down. It had to be set up, pass away, just to usher in the kingdom of heaven. See? So again, when you go back here to Psalms, the 7th chapter, and again the 9th verse, it says, oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. See? So America had to be established, man. All right? It says, but establish the just, see that? For the righteousness of the Most High trieth the hearts and reigns. My defenses of the Most High would save it the upright in heart. The Most High judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. See? If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He have bent his bow and made it ready. So Yahweh has already prepared, the destiny of the so-called white man. All right? So when you go back here, again, to the book of Job, the 21st chapter, and again, the 7th verse, it says, wherefore doeth the wicked live, again, the wicked, being the so-called white man, become old, are mighty in power. And again, to become old symbolizes the length or duration of this rulership. Well, now we're in a time where the Lord is answering this question, this age-old question, it seems. How long? All right? And the Lord is answering that question by way of stepping in on our behalf, and showing forth himself in the form of the prophecies being fulfilled. For an example, the so-called white man and his economy, all right, the American dollar, which at one time had a strong grip on the planet Earth, has now lost that luster and shine it once had, which again was a show of the dominance of the so-called white man. Now you got these other nations dealing with other currencies, the yuan. They pretty much don't want to deal with the petrodollar no more, man. But that's one of many signs that show that the so-called white man has fallen from grace. See? And that long run, that long reign of terror is now coming to an end. See? Which brings me right here to the book of Psalms, the 94th chapter, and starting at the first verse. It says, O Lord, power to whom vengeance belongeth, O Yahweh Bashmi Hawashah, to whom vengeance belongeth, show thyself, lift up thyself. And that's the time we're in. We're in the time where the Lord is now once more again showing himself. You know, the Lord has pretty much sprung into action, if you will, in relation to the judgment concerning the so-called white man. Again, it says, show thyself, lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth, render a reward to the proud, render a reward to the proud, which the proud being the so-called white man, and that reward obviously being a destruction that the Lord has prepared, which, like all the works of the Lord, is a process. The destruction of the so-called white man is actually a process, man. You got to remember, our Lord Yahweh Bashmi Hawashah is known as the husbandman, which translates to a farmer, a sower. All right. Now we all know when in the farming business, that's the one occupation that requires patience, man. You know, you might plant a seed, but that seed actually has to grow, you know, into its perfection, into its fullness. But guess what? That applies when concerning the judgment that the Lord has prepared for the so-called white man. It's a process which we know is going to ultimately be capped off, you know, by the destruction, you know, which will come in the form of World War III. But what you're witnessing right now is a part of that destruction. This is that destruction growing into its perfection, man. You know, into its ripeness. See that? Again, it says, lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth, render a reward to the proud. Lord, how long, see, how long shall the wicked triumph? How long shall they utter and speak hard things, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves? So again, this is the mentality. This is the mindset. Lord, how long? You know, how long must we suffer the wickedness of the so-called white man? All right. Well, again, the Lord is answering that question. The Lord is comforting us by simply breaking his man down right before our very eyes. All right. So we're in a time where the Lord has now cut off that wickedness, man. See that? Which brings me right here to the book of Psalms. Psalms, the 37th chapter, and starting at the first verse, it says, a psalm of David, fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass. So what we just read here was pretty much comforting words by Yahweh Bashmi Hawashah, and him answering that age-old question of how long. Well, our Lord says soon. Again, it says, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass. Now, this precept, when read with understanding, first and foremost, it proves that the overtone of this ministry is prophecy, because what we read here is a prophecy. But it also proves that this is a living document. Why? Because at the time this was written, the so-called white man wasn't in power, man. See? So what we read right here applies to the here and now. Right now, you can see that this man and his demise is soon approaching, is fast approaching. See, again, it says, for they shall soon, see, which can only apply to now. This didn't apply to when the so-called white man first came into power, when he first established America, you know, the 13 colonies, man. This didn't apply to the ancient Roman Empire or the Greeks when this man first came into power. This only makes sense now, because this is the time when you can obviously see that this man and his end is apparent, man. See, again, it says, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither, which when you go into the idea of anything withering, it's a process. What you're witnessing now is the withering of America, man. The collapse of the American dollar, the crumbling of this place. But that's nothing more than the so-called white man and his kingdom withering. See? For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither, see, as the green herb. See that? So now we're in a time where the Lord has stepped in on our behalf, you know, and has begun to cut off the wickedness of the wicked. So yeah, I just want to touch on that. Lord willing, it was edifying. Till the next time I say shalom.